Oh no. Go ahead.
Hey guys, and welcome to Disney WTF, where we talk about what's the fuss about Disney. I'm Richie, and I'm here with my partner in good deeds, Lori, and she's a Disney lover, and I'm really just trying to understand everything here. But somehow we figured out a way to make this relationship work. Headlines.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with a couple headlines. So the first one, I saw this today. The Hall of Presidents will have Donald Trump in it.
Well, they have to.
Yes. But apparently...
They can just skip a president.
I know. That would be really awkward.
Yeah.
But apparently there's been some sort of a delay in announcing it. And you know what Disney has cited? Technical problems.
So there's technical problems in terms of announcing the
addition of Donald Trump.
That's
I don't know. It is interesting because we haven't heard anything up until now.
Yeah.
That he will be a part of the show, which of course we all assumed so because he is in fact our president.
That's true.
And I know he's a very scandalous president sometimes.
I feel like Disney would get a lot of backlash if they too denied him being the president.
But aren't you curious to see what happens when he's actually a part of the show? What kind of rowdiness might happen?
That's true.
I mean, it's Disney, but people get pretty rowdy.
And there may be like protesting, I'm sure. Maybe.
It's
Maybe some
crazy
ruckus
then.
Inside the show.
You'd have to buy a park ticket in order to go protest.
That's true.
Or unless you're an annual pass holder.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. But I don't know. I have all these visions of bad things happening, so we'll just have to see when it reopens later on this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Trump.
Yes. And then a second piece of news, and kind of something that I did want to go over with you.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of Club 33?
I have not.
Okay. So Club 33 is a private club that was originally in Disneyland, and it's still there today. Now, it's such an exclusive club, you have to have a membership to join. Now,
you have to have a membership to join the club?
Yes. The
That doesn't make
membership
sense.
costs $50,000.
Oh my god.
The annual dues are $15,000. The wait list to get into this club is over 14 years.
So you have to put yourself on a wait list, wait 14 years, then pay $50,000 to get in, and then to sustain that membership, you have to pay $15,000 a year.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So what do they do inside this club? You might be asking yourself.
I'm assuming it's a huge secret. Because
it used to be.
Okay.
But now
like,
that we live in the digital age, nothing is secret.
Yeah.
Which is why I know the membership costs.
It's like being a Freemason. But it's expensive.
So they have a restaurant inside. They host events and things like that. Lou Mangello, one of my favorite Disney podcasters,
okay,
he did a live review of it one time, and it just sounded really magical. Just
he was live review in there.
It wasn't a live review. It was just a review, but it sounded really, really magical.
You know who's my favorite Disney podcaster?
You.
Oh. I wanted to say me, but then I just would have sounded kind of cocky. Anywho, continue on.
I know what your real feelings are. So yeah, well, Club 33, the original number 33, it's speculated that it came from the 33 corporate sponsors that were sponsoring Disneyland in 1966 to 1967. But officially, it was because that's where it's located in Disneyland. It's the 33 is the number on the building where it's located in New Orleans Square.
Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, because when you told me that price, like, it sounds like corporate sponsorship type of stuff because it's just so much money. But I'm curious to know, like, is it individuals? Is it, like, companies that don't, like, that get this membership? Like, I wonder how that works.
I bet it's a lot of individuals. I bet the number of individuals would surprise us.
Yeah, I would also like to know, well, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I wonder if the people that are paying that are, like just in passing because they have so much money. They're like, yeah, I'll be part of this club. Or it's like us just going to Disney.
Yeah.
or like an average individual just going to Disney, or if it's like they're also secretly like Disney fanatics and like they borderline became rich just so they could be part of this club.
I bet it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I bet some people just want to say, oh, by the way, I'm a Club 33 member because, you know, it's a exclusive type of thing. And then there are the Disney fanatics in there.
Yeah.
I like how our annual Disney membership is actually just our annual pass. And even that's just like, ooh, wow, really pushing it this year with those prices.
Yeah.
So why is this news? So it's news because they're bringing Club 33 to Walt Disney World in Orlando.
Oh, wait, what was the news though? Sorry, I missed that.
That is
part.
the news.
Oh, that's the news. Okay,
Yeah.
so the news is it's coming to WDW.
Yeah. Technically, it's old news from April, but we weren't talking about this in April.
That's true.
And it's speculated that the construction has just begun in Epcot.
So it's a building that they're bringing.
Well, I don't know if it's a building. I think they might be rehabbing existing structures because something in Disneyland, it was hidden almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would walk past it down this little alleyway and you wouldn't even know it's there.
And did they say when? Like the date?
Later in 2017.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Why are you gonna go?
I'm not going to be able to afford that, but I like to walk by the building.
And that's it.
And barely be able to afford that.
I could afford to walk by this building.
Cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was a fun fact for you to know about the exclusive club
Disney
that you will never be a part
33.
of. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
I know, but we can dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what did you ask our Instagram followers yesterday?
I wanted to know, you know, what people, you know, what Disney fanatics are doing online and, you know, like what blogs are they going to or what websites do they really like? And I wanted to know, like, you know, I just wanted to know, like, what are Disney people doing, like, online and why? Mm-hmm. So, like, I know you in the morning will go on Disney sites and stuff like that. So I just wanted to know, and so some pretty cool, interesting websites people posted up. I peeked at and tried to see what life was like there.
Well, a lot of the websites that they listed, I go on myself in the morning. So my morning routine.
Let's hear it.
So I wake up and I make myself a cup of coffee. I get my iPad, and then I go browse my Disney news.
Okay.
And so the websites I normally go to are the official Disney Parks blog, WDWNT, which is one of the ones that was mentioned on Instagram, allears.net,
All Ears was mentioned.
Disney Food Blog,
That was mentioned.
and Disney Tourist Blog was also mentioned on there. But there's so many websites with such different content that you can explore. I mean, it's really just a way for you to, one, keep up on Disney news, and two, bring a little piece of the Disney magic to your morning.
It's interesting that I think there's also, you know, I'm wondering because I think what we saw or what was posted here were fairly general, you know, like Disney, you know, blogs and websites. But I wonder, like, what the real... there was one that's like a niche one, I guess. But, like, I also want to know, like... I'm sure there's a Disney blog and website there for, like, all types of different kinds of people. So, like, I'd be really curious to see, like, what those are like also.
Well, in a way, they all have...
There's a truck. A huge truck driving by.
You know what? It's probably the garbage truck. And I was wondering where they were because we still have trash out front.
Okay.
Anywho. So... each of these blogs does have its own little niche. So Disney Food Blog, they talk all about food and they review restaurants and they show you pictures of all the food so you can kind of plan, you know, it's so you can plan really too what you're going to eat when you're there. All Ears is also a very good planning website. They have so much information on allears.net. You could spend hours and hours just on that one website. You know, especially if
is it overwhelming?
It is sometimes because they post so much.
Yeah.
That you know, you try to keep track of what's new and what you've already seen, especially if you're like me and you're visiting it daily. But then they have pictures of things that you maybe don't get to see as often, like of hotel rooms and a really nice resort, and so you can kind of just like look in and see what it's like just through that website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. One of the interesting ones that I saw, someone posted, it's a blog called Gorillas Don't Blog.
which I hadn't heard of until they
Yeah.
mentioned it.
And I was like, that's so weird. Like, what do gorillas have to do with Disney? And then I go to the website, and then like literally the first sentence after the title is, "This has nothing to do with gorillas." But the author or the creator of it just really liked gorillas. But it's pretty cool. It has like a bunch of vintage stuff, like from the dude's personal or woman's. I don't know if it was a guy or girl that made this, but it's their personal like collection of Disney, like vintage Disney stuff. So it's really interesting. I thought that was the only like real like what felt like a niche thing like was for a Disney blog.
I mean, you think about somebody's blog like that where it's based a lot in vintage things, vintage pictures and stories. I mean, for a Disney lover, it's kind of like you're going back to your childhood. Like, in a way, when we visit the parks, of course, there's always, like, we have fun, and of course, it's going to be channeling a little bit of our childhood. But then I see these pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had that fanny pack.
Yeah.
When I went. Or I remember Toontown in Walt Disney World and going into Mickey's house and walking around. You
know what's interesting? There are Disney fanatics that are adults that do not have that ability to recollect like a Disney memory as a kid.
Oh, I'm basically that person. I don't know where those pictures are. Oh wait, what are you talking about?
No, I meant like there's people that for their first time they may have gone to Disney as an adult.
Yeah.
And be doing the same activities that you're doing, but you're actually having somewhat of a different experience because not only are you doing it as the adult, but you have like the memory as a child to like of that certain area. So that's pretty interesting too.
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy how you develop your memories and your love for Disney in a different way depending on what time of your life you're going in. So like look at you, for instance. What do you have any strong memories of going to Disney World as a child? Like you're a young child?
No.
Did you go with your school?
I think I went with my school once, and then I think I went like once or twice with my mom, but I don't really remember it.
So a lot of your memories are going to be with me.
Yeah, that's true.
You're welcome.
Thank you. What else?
Well, there is another site that I like to visit. It's Vintage Disney Parks Tumblr. It's a Tumblr page, and it's a ton of vintage pictures, like how they have on the Gorillas Don't Blog site. There's no stories involved, really. Maybe a little paragraph
it's
or
like
two.
It's like an Instagram online.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'm new to Instagram, so yeah. So, and there's just pages, hundreds and hundreds of pages that go on and on and on with all these different types of pictures that individuals post. And I don't like to lose my place. So what I do is I always have a constant tab open on my iPad, which is what I do most of my online surfing on.
So what happens if it gets X'd out by accident?
Oh, it's happened before. Well,
and
then I
freak
start.
Out?
Well, I don't freak out. I definitely have a strategy already to deal with that because it has happened before. So I just keep going to page 10, like 10 pages down. Keep going.
Okay.
Until I think I'm in the area. And then sometimes I see repeats, of course, because I didn't quite nail the page that I was on, but that's okay.
So do you know how many pages there are, or like what it would take for you to get to the actual end? What would you do when you get to the end?
I don't know. Probably go back to the beginning and see what else was
Start
posted.
again. See what you missed.
What have I missed all these years?
That's funny. Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know you don't lose your place.
Yeah, it's always... You can go to my iPad right now and it's right there.
Yeah. I guess the only comparison I have with that is I'm having trouble. So right now I'm listening to like Gary Vee's podcast and stuff. So I'm having trouble like keeping up with everything because he has so much content. I'm having trouble keeping up and like I'll lose my place left and right. And it is frustrating.
But wouldn't Gary Vee frown upon that you're just spending so much time making sure you're keeping place on his content?
He would, 100%. Which is why I'm trying to listen less and do other things.
Nobody frowns upon that at Disney. You can, no. You do whatever you want. You do you.
Yeah.
That's what they would do.
Okay, that's another topic for another podcast.
Okay, anyways. So, something that I heard earlier today, this is totally off topic.
Okay.
What would Walt Disney's favorite movie be since he passed away?
As a Disney movie? We should ask that on Instagram.
That's a good question.
By the way, we're on Instagram. If you're listening or watching this, we're on Instagram at Disney, WTF.radio.
But I started thinking about it and
That's interesting.
I really couldn't think of something. The first thing I was coming to mind was, okay, a good story. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like Walt would want some technical aspects to be innovative, because he was very much like about innovation and the future. So I think he would appreciate something like that. But I really couldn't think of anything off the top of my head.
You mean a Disney movie?
A Disney movie. So since he passed away, out of all the Disney movies that have come out since then, which one would he want to watch on a Friday night?
WALL-E.
Somebody else said that too.
Who said that?
Well, it was online.
Oh, okay. Who said that? It would have to be WALL-E.
Yeah?
Because I feel like, if anything, WALL-E is probably the, like, modern or futuristic version of Mickey. Because WALL-E is named after Walt Disney.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that a lot of the things that were...
Wow, you just got meta. That was really crazy.
Like, I'm assuming because, that what we talked about in that other episode, how Mickey is who Walt made as himself. Mm-hmm. It's probably what they tried to create with WALL-E, because like to me it doesn't seem like there's any other character like Frozen. What's her name from Frozen?
Elsa.
So Elsa is not Walt.
No, that's true.
So that's why I think WALL-E would probably be his favorite, being that it's like him.
That's a strong contender.
Yeah.
You make a very sound argument.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. My mind is really blown about that.
Good.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I know. I think we have our answer then.
Yeah. Well, we'll still ask others and see what they say.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very good question.
Yeah. There was one thing that I don't think you mentioned that someone had talked about, which was Oh Yeah Disney, which I went to their Instagram page. They have, I think, a YouTube channel. And then they also have a clothing line apparel, which they have some pretty cool clothing.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's called Oh Yeah Apparel, I think. So,
I have to go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Those were all the ones that they had mentioned.
You know what's interesting is how a lot of these sites, apparently Disney people, I mean, they're famous in the Disney world. Mm-hmm. But somebody who doesn't visit Disney sites often, except for maybe the official site, mm-hmm. wouldn't know about some of them.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's a bunch of people that visit Disney that would probably love to get one of the shirts from one of those people, like from Oh Yeah Disney or Oh Yeah Apparel, mm-hmm. but they'd have no idea because they're not like following, or they're not like mm-hmm. deep into like the Disney world of like the digital Disney world.
And there's so many
digital Disney world. Is that a thing?
Probably.
We'll have to Google
it. Yeah. I mean, there's just so much online content that, these are the ones that a lot of people visit, but think about all the individual sites that people have. And it's mm-hmm. true, like what you were saying, was there's a niche for everybody. So there's a lot of blogs that are devoted to the Disney College program, which is, you have a student who's literally working in Disney World, and they live in Orlando. They have like a dorm room and a roommate or whatever. But they're blogging about their experience working at Disney World. And they're cast members.
Yeah.
But they're still students in school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And, I mean, websites devoted specifically to one ride, like the Haunted Mansion or Tower of Terror. So
I think that's what I want to find. Like, I want to like search Instagram and like other stuff to try to find like the niche. I'm going to find you. If you're a niche Disney thing, I'm going to find you. Warning you right now. I want to know what you're doing.
I wouldn't want you to find me. Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but there really is something for everybody online. And I remember probably about when I first started to become that kind of fanatic, when I was maybe 18 or 19, and Walt Disney World, the official website, was, it was how things were back in the early 2000s. It wasn't mm-hmm. as interactive as it is now.
Yeah.
But I would go on it like every time I had internet access.
Yeah.
With the dial-up and everything.
Yeah.
I have to use the phone.
Yeah.
But anytime I would be able to take a minute to go online and go like look through the website just to kind of get a piece of the Disney while I was at home, mm-hmm. like I would do it.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy that we don't even have to be at the park to feel and hear and see everything that's at Disney World because of everything that's online.
So, I have a question for you.
Please.
If there was a niche Disney like website that would cater to you, what would that be?
It would be a little bit of everything.
But if it had to be this, like, you have to answer this question. It'd be like a niche, like of something. Like, what would you prefer it to be?
That's a really tough one, but something that finds its way into almost my everyday life is Disney music. So music from the parks. So it would probably be a YouTube channel in that case.
Okay, cool.
And it would be music specifically devoted to the parks.
Interesting.
If I could only go to one Disney thing for the rest of my life from home, then it would probably be music from the parks.
Yeah.
And resorts. And everywhere. Just anything.
I'm trying to think about like what mine would be because
I don't think you're experienced enough to know.
I know, but I'm really interested in this Gorillas Don't Blog thing, like the vintage ones. Like I kind of want to see what like it used to be, you know, like and what it's come to now. I think that one, like the vintage one, like out of all these that I saw, like that's the one that got my attention. That I was like, ooh, I think I'm gonna go back and look at this.
Do you ever think that people that do vintage Disney, maybe they do it because they don't like the form that it's in now?
It's possible. Let's ask this guy or gal from Gorillas Don't Blog, like, yo, what do you think about now? Let's do a call-in on the show.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Or maybe I don't know if they have one. I'll look for this maybe too at some point, but maybe a futuristic Disney, like technology Disney. I'd be into that if they had like a technology Disney blog.
I could see you being into that, but you're not
talking about... If anyone knows of a technology Disney blog, let me know about it, please. I want to know.
But you're not talking about technology that they predicted for like the 2000s.
No, it'd be like technology that Disney's currently using, and why it's amazing, like and why Disney's innovating.
So like the projector shows.
Yeah,
you were very interested in that.
Like I want to know more about that, and where I can find that information.
That's a good subject.
Yeah, I wonder if that exists.
It definitely does.
I gotta find you guys. I'm gonna find you.
That's all I got, Richie.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Well, thank you everyone for listening, for watching. Please find us on YouTube.
Yes.
Instagram.
And Twitter.
And Facebook. So much.
Yeah. And then subscribe.
Please. Thank you so much, and have a very, very magical day. Goodbye.